He's a leader who has led this conference to our current majority over the last 4 years. Those things are unassailable. But this isn't about him.
Tell him, yeah.
This isn't about Kevin McCarthy. I put no single human being on a pedestal, and certainly not before God and not before the gift that he has blessed us with this grand experiment that we call the United States of America. This isn't about Kevin McCarthy, but the matters before us are of stupendous magnitude. A federal republic such as ours, it's a dynamically unstable one. It's a wobbly top that's just a few mere revolutions away from falling down at any given moment, except for the exertions of men and women who are willing to serve her with pure and selfless intent, just as our founding fathers did, just as Abraham Lincoln and Ronald Reagan did with pure and selfless intent. And as our nation today and over the last 2 years has seen, we are certainly a wobbly top. Today we have a southern border that is wide open. As a result of that and as a result of our executive branch policies, today 200 fellow Americans will die of fentanyl poisoning, and roughly 5,000 illegal immigrants will be victims of human smuggling. Today, our nation's debt is $31 trillion, and that will go up, just in this day alone, by roughly $2.1 billion. Today, we are seeing one of the worst crime spikes in our nation's history. Our law enforcement are direly underfunded, and they are hurting. And on that topic, I want to thank our law enforcement. I want to especially thank the Capitol Hill Police for what they do. We thank them not only for what they've done, our police also serve with that pure and selfless intent. They do it every day, and we should thank them every day. Today, the Chinese Communist Party will orchestrate the theft of another $1 billion of intellectual property from American companies. And the Chinese Communist Party is still today not being held accountable for the deaths of millions of people around this planet, deaths as a result of a genocide within their borders, and deaths as a result of COVID outside them. We are today losing on multiple fronts against China. So today isn't about a single human being. It's not about Kevin McCarthy. It's about the 13 Gold Star families who still suffer today mercifully, without closure and without accountability, after the unnecessary loss of their loved ones in Afghanistan over a year ago. And today, speaking of our military, today roughly 40 active duty and veterans of our military will commit suicide. These, Madam Clerk, these are the matters of stupendous magnitude. This isn't about a man in a suit in the halls of Congress. It's about 330 million Americans. It's about the preservation of the Constitution and the liberties guaranteed therein. It's about the 246 years of pride and providence that we have enjoyed as a nation. And above all things, it's about ensuring that this beautiful journey exists for generations to come. That doesn't happen if we don't address and rise above the multiple existential crises that we experience today. We must be victorious in this cause, and victory begins with allowing this body to get to work. It begins today. Now, winning isn't easy, okay? Winning isn't easy, but winning is necessary. And of all folks in this chamber, I know that winning isn't easy. I represent a district where only 29% of my voters are registered as I. But I engage and I communicate with the other 71% because it's the only way that we all win. And in the end, it's the only way that the nation wins. It ain't easy, but it's necessary. But the noble wins, the most important wins, never are easy. But we take on these missions just as passionately as Colonel Chamberlain did at Little Round Top in Gettysburg. We must hold this line, because if we don't hold this line, the entire union is at stake. We don't hold the majority for bragging rights. We hold the majority to govern responsibly. We hold the majority to protect the American people, to coalesce around the foundational constitutional principles that I've been willing to give my life to defend since the age of 18. Now, to my Democrat colleagues across the aisle, I want to make sure you understand and make no mistake. We are, in fact, on the verge of a very important victory. A victory for the people, a victory by the people, and most importantly, a victory for the future of our nation. And it dawns on me as I look across the aisle after being here for nearly 3 years that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting many of you because you've chosen to stay at home and not vote here in person, electing instead to proxy vote.
The member-elect is reminded to direct his remarks to the chair.
Well, it's a pleasure to see 212 of you here today. It's also a pleasure to see the end of the proxy voting. And let me end with this. I'm extremely proud of my colleagues on this side of the aisle. The last 4 days, they haven't been ideal. They've been difficult. But I do see fighters. I see patriots who love this country and want to make things better. I see folks who are willing to do whatever is necessary to ensure that we better serve the nation. I see men and women who are willing to serve her with that pure and selfless intent, even if that service means undergoing the dentistry that we've experienced over the last 4 days and in the wake of the last 20 meetings over the last 2 months. Let me be clear, these are not concessions to the rules. These are critical evolution of the rules for the good of the nation. And I'm proud that we as a party have decided and been willing to extend the time aperture so that we can get to a solution, a product of compromise, but also a product that will fix the ills induced by the Democrat majority over the last 4 years. And this product will hopefully end the multifaceted legacy of reckless and toxic behavior in the swamp. And so this isn't about Kevin McCarthy. It's not about the 434 members in this chamber. It's about the 330 million Americans across this beautiful land, and it's about our nation's future. The person who will lead us on that journey will be Kevin McCarthy. He has earned this position, and I have the honor of nominating him at the direction of the Republican Conference as the Speaker of the House of the 118th Congress. God bless the United States.
No crooked establishment.
None of that twisting the truth. No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax.
Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think.
They let
me decide.
Newsmax.
Real news
For real people.